Been very pleased with a solid week of practice for our team, and I like their energy and focus. It's been beautiful football weather out here the last couple days, so we've had some good practices and anxious to get going here.
Did they have the energy you would want after a week off?
They did.
And the focus and all that?
They did. They came back Monday really good. Had a great week. Honestly, they were bouncing around, had good focus and good energy all week.
Somebody put out a stat the other day about how few passes have actually been completed on Derek Beatty. Is that an accurate representation of how good he's been this year? Or
yeah, we keep our own little hit charts. I don't know where it's at right off the top of my head with him, but we've been more competitive, as you know. We've had some good tighter coverage, and so we need to keep it going across the board.
How do you talked about the penalties and your concerns about that. How do you enforce that in practice, or sort of try to simulate that, or make sure that how do you practice that?
Well, some of the penalties, with the holding, and that's technique, and some of it pre-snap with procedure and delay game and things like that we could control. And the emotional, aggressive ones we can control as well. And so we just, we talked about that, still playing with that edge and that attitude, and that we need to play with, but we have to be smart, and we can't be selfish. And some of those penalties at times are selfish, and you have to, and I'm proud of our team because they've dealt with a lot as well. And it's not like we're an undisciplined team. We're an aggressive team, and we're fighting for every yard and every play, but we have to have a good mentality about us and play very unselfish, and we've done that. We're not perfect, but we've done a very good job, and I like the attitude of this team.
Do you think Drake's going to be able to go Saturday?
Yeah, I do.
Nasir too?
Nasir, yes. He's being a backup role, but he'll be ready to go.
Coached a lot of secondaries. Is there something about this one that you really like, or that has sort of grown on you?
I just like the way that they've really just stepped up and really matured, and you don't have to poke at them and prod them to prepare in the practice, and have that attention to detail in meetings, and they've been much more competitive on the field, and it shows. So I'm very pleased with the way they've been.
You guys see this as a game to establish the run early because of maybe what Vandy's been able to do against the run in the past?
Well, I don't know, if it's any more or any less. I mean, we need to be who we are, and we're a team that obviously, we like to run the football and play physical, so we're going to have to get back to doing what we do, but you have to have balance as well. And, we've been striving for that all year, of having great balance and being able to mix it up, and we want to continue to do that.
Did you get away from that at Texas A&M out of design, or because of what you guys saw? Or
well, I think sometimes things go that way, and again, I think a bit of it is the amount of plays. I mean, when you're not getting first downs, when you're not moving the chains, that doesn't help with what you're trying to do. So we a little bit of each there. We went into it knowing that we wanted to be more balanced, and and then without getting the plays you want, without getting the first downs you want, it kind of gets you out of rhythm of who you are. So we accept that. We accept that criticism, and we also know that we trying to be balanced, to win a bunch of football games and do the things necessary to as we move forward here this year.
How hard is it that equation to not be predictable, especially on first down, where everybody thinks you're going to run it, but knowing if you don't complete it on first down, you get behind the chains? And those kind of situations.
We've done that this year. In the A&M game, again, give them credit. They made it difficult for us, and we got behind the chains there as well. And but in the games leading up to that, we had been keeping people off balance and throwing it effectively on first down. And so we need to continue to do that and just do what we do, and that there's no mystery there. Teams know that. They know we're going to run the ball downhill, and they know we're going to play action off of it, and try to be as balanced as we can.
Drake told us earlier this week that he watched that Vandy Florida game live, and he noticed that the edge that Vandy played with, he said it kind of reminded him of watching his team.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
I do, and that's what I said, you know, early in the week when I said that I feel like they have a hungry, you know, football team when they're going out there and competing and fighting, and they take a lot of pride in what they do, and I have a lot of respect for Derek and the way he coaches. So there's no doubt we know what type of game we're going to get here this week, and it's going to be a tough game.
Do you think the fact that the players and the coaches have all had extra time to sit on this loss kind of changes how hungry they are going into the game?
I think it you know, it's a long couple weeks. You know, it definitely does. I mean, I don't think any of us like it. We'd much rather get back on the field as quick as we can. And, you know, once it got back to Monday of this week, it felt like a normal week. But it was a long week last week, yeah.
Everybody good?